Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn daily energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. All right, we're going to look at what you may be struggling with. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Magician, and then we have the Infinity sign on top, which is individual empowerment and everlasting love. And then we have the World card. All right. Advice from the tarot, we have the Chariot. We have the Six of Swords. And then we have the Queen of Wands. And then what's coming in for you, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have, oh good, the Two of Wands. And we have the Five of Wands. And for some reason I'm feeling one more, we have Justice. Also, that also could represent Libra. Chariot can also represent Cancer sign. And then I feel like these two for overall energy is we have the Two of Swords and we have the Six of Cups as overall energy. All right. All right, so what you may be struggling with is the Knight of Pentacles, the Magician, and the World. And I feel like you're stuck in some sort of energy. I feel like you're facing a challenge, and I feel like you want to give up, and that you feel powerless, and that you feel like what you're trying to make happen isn't going to happen, and like your world is being affected by it. And I feel like you're stuck. I feel like you feel powerless, and I feel like you're facing this challenge, and I feel like it may be overwhelming you, which definitely when we go through challenges, we feel overwhelmed, we feel like we can't get through them, we feel like we're stuck. We have the King of Wands, we have the Five of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups. So I feel like, so these are kind of the three other cards that we pulled out. I feel like with the Knight of Wands that it is learning from your past. I feel that it's also a pattern that you're trying to break, and that it's to let go of, I know that it's easier said than done, but we have to be aware of the way that we're reacting to situations, and that if we keep putting ourselves in these situations and we keep reacting the same way, then the patterns are going to continue. And if you feel that there's a challenge that's before you and you're feeling powerless and you want to give up and you don't want to continue, then it's to look at that and looking at your past and saying, every time I've done this and I've given up and I haven't pushed through and I haven't tried, that it resulted in me feeling this sense of loss with this Five of Cups, and that you end up focusing on the 5 empty cups instead of focusing on the 2 cups that are right here behind you. And then we have this beautiful pear tree with the golden pears on it. And I feel like you kind of get stuck in this energy for a while, and it takes you a while to pull yourself out of it. I feel that if you recognize that you're at a standstill here with this Knight of Pentacles and the horse is standing still, and you're feeling powerless and you're feeling like kind of the world is coming in around you, that this is when you have to fight the hardest. This is when you have to push the hardest. This is when you have to push through the hardest. And realize what it is that you're focusing on. Because right now you're focusing on these 3 of Cups, and you're not really seeing the positive, which is hard when you're struggling. When you're struggling through something, all you can feel is this immense sense of pressure, whatever the situation may be for you. And you just feel this immense sense of pressure on top of yourself. But this is when you prove to yourself how powerful you actually are and how strong you actually are, and that you can pull through, okay? I know that you're struggling. I know that you're having a hard time. With the overall energy, with the Two of Swords and the Six of Cups, I feel like it's your choice. It's your choice to say, okay, this is the time I break that pattern. This is the time that I see that this is a pattern that I have created, and I react a certain way, and then for the next however long that I'm going to be in this energy of this frustration and feeling stuck and not moving, and everything starts to irritate you, and you get mad at everything, and you just feel irritated by everything. You can't really put a particular thing on it, but it's just like everything just irritates you. And kind of seeing your energy level and saying, okay, yeah, everything's just getting to me. The advice from the tarot is we have the Chariot, so it's time to take control of this. Instead of having this situation overwhelm you, saying, how can I control the situation and move forward? Again, with the Six of Swords here, we have the Queen of Wands, which is again coming back into your power and learning that it's time for you to take, yes, sorry, I rushed my words and I'm trying not to. I'm trying to speak clearer, thorough sentences. I just get excited. So the advice from the tarot is to take control with the Chariot, to move forward with the Six of Swords, and to feel and get your power back, to feel that you are in control of the situation, that you've got everything handled. It may take a while, it may take some time, it may take some adjustments, it may take some changes that you need to make. But it's saying, it's realizing that you don't want to accept the situation that's going on here. You don't want to be stuck in this standstill and this frustration and this challenge that you are facing, that you don't want it to overwhelm you. And you don't want to be stuck in that energy for a long time. And it's realizing that needs to come to an end, even though you may feel tired. We have the Moon card, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Ten of Swords. Again, advice from the tarot. So I feel that this represents something coming to an end, even though you're tired. Like we have this Nine of Wands here where that person looks really tired. This is when you prove, like I was saying earlier, this is when you prove to yourself, this is when you show yourself how strong you actually are, that you're pushing through this challenge, that you're saying, I'm going to make this work. I'm not going to let this hold me back. I'm not going to reach for easy outs. I'm not going to reach for the easy answers, that I'm going to make the choices and decisions that I know will bring me in the long-term happiness. And saying, I'm going to take control. I'm going to face this situation head on. I'm going to face it head on and say, okay, I got to make some tough decisions here. I got to make some tough choices here, right? It could be a relationship that you're dealing with, and maybe it's a relationship that you're not happy with, or that it's not working out, or that it's creating a lot of problems and a lot of stress in your life. And you're like, you know what? I got to face this head on because it's just becoming too overwhelming. I'm feeling powerless. I'm not feeling like myself, and I need to make some tough decisions here, and I need to end this relationship, or I need to create some distance between me and this person. If it's a job that you're not happy with, and you're just feeling like you're stuck in the grind, and you keep doing the same thing, and you're never going to get out of it. Or if it's finances, right, that you feel like you're struggling for every little penny, and you're having all of these problems. It's like, okay, let's face it head on and say, where do I need to, do I need to get a new job? Do I need to start looking? It doesn't mean you leave your current job, but it's like, do I need to start looking? Do I need to start getting my resume ready? Do I need to start thinking about, okay, can I start a business on my side? Do I need to open up an eBay store, right? And sell some things that I have around the house that are creating clutter that I don't use anymore, that maybe someone else would like to use, but make money from it, right? That's an easier way to make some money. If it's a career, what is it that you would like to do? Start focusing and looking into that, right? Whatever this is that you're struggling with, that you feel that you're overwhelmed and it's at a standstill and you're irritated with, what is it that you have to face head on? Just like this Chariot, like I feel like this with this Chariot here, it's like face it head on and take control of the situation instead of having the situation take control of you. and make those tough decisions. Sometimes we have to make those tough choices. Sometimes we have to do those things we really don't want to do, but we know that in the long run it's going to ease things up for us or make things better, right? Nobody likes to have to leave their job and go through all of that, but in the long run, if you find something that you're happier with, then that gives you those rewards in the long run, and you're not feeling stuck or trapped. If it's a relationship that it's not really working out, or maybe you just need to take a break, or maybe you know that you need to end the relationship, or you need to create distance within the relationship, time to do that instead of putting yourself in that situation. If it has to do with money and finances, maybe it's time to create a budget and really see where all the money's going, and what things can you cut out, and what things, what can you do to add more money in, right? Sit down and take that. I feel that, maybe it's like you've been ignoring things for long enough, and now is the time to face them. Of course, you have to choose what it is you feel is right for you. I'm not telling you what you have to do, but sometimes we just have to have that hard, tough advice, that tough love from that person, right? Or that tarot reading that just says, now is the time to deal with it, and stop fooling yourself with this moon card. Like, stop putting that mask over yourself, or stop ignoring the reality of what's really going on here and the tough decisions that need to be made, and making those choices, but knowing that you're heading towards better things, that you're making things happen for yourself with this Queen of Pentacles and this Two of Wands and this Five of Wands and the Justice, is that you're making things happen for yourself, that you're fighting for you. You're taking those steps towards changes, that if you're not happy over here, what can you do to change those things? Giving yourself a sense of calmness and say, yeah, it may be a little hard for the next 6 months or the next year or whatever, but I know that I'm working towards making things easier for myself, or I'm not putting up with a relationship that I'm not happy with, or I'm not keeping myself in a job. I may have to stay there for the next 6 months, but I know that I'm working on change. I'm working on a solution. I'm working on something different. And this energy is coming in for you is that you feel proud of yourself, kind of with that Justice card. I'm feeling like it's like you feel proud of yourself, and you're like, I'm so glad that I just didn't accept things for what they were before, and that I was able to stand up and I was able to make those changes, that I just didn't accept something. And it's changing that pattern, changing those patterns. So again, energy coming in for you, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Hanging Man, and we have the Chariot again. So we have the Two and the Three of Wands, which is that progress towards your future, and saying, okay, I'm feeling more motivated about it. I'm feeling better about it because I've kind of made some big choices and decisions here. I made some big shifts and adjustments, but I know that it's for the good. And if I have to make them again later, that I can do them. It's seeing things from a different perspective with the Hanging Man, which I love this card. Also, he's letting go of the weights that he has, right? Let go of that weight that you have on yourself. How can you do that for yourself? Again, with the Chariot, feeling like you're in control in that forward movement, is how can you do it for yourself? Not letting other people, waiting for other people for this to happen or that to happen, or this person says this or that, right? Or that person to make that move, or that person to end the relationship. That if you feel that it's something that's important for you, then you need to do that for you. You have to, sometimes you have to just step up to the plate. Overall energy, I feel a sense of release. I feel a sense of calmness. I feel that you feel so much better, and because you've handled the situation. Sometimes we just have to take a hard look at what's really going on here and what needs to be done, and follow through with it, right? Gaining your power back here with that Queen of Wands. And definitely with those two Chariots, it's that forward motion, but it's like you are in control of where this is going. All right, let's grab an animal oracle. Oh, I love this one. Scarab, Beetle Spirit, magic works for you. And I love that one because that goes back, I feel that it's like the magician, right? That you are powerful and you are in control of everything. And you have magic within yourself. You have power within yourself. You can create things. You can make things happen within yourself. You can control what is going on around you. You can't control other people, but you can control what's going on around you, like like if you're putting yourself in a relationship that you don't want to be in, or if you're in a job that you don't want to be in, or if you're having financial troubles, you know, like you have the power to change those things, to choose not to put yourself in those situations. So magic does work through you, and that's what you have to believe, is that you can make it happen. If you feel like, oh, I can't make it happen, it's not going to happen for me, those things don't happen for me, then you're taking the power away from you. You're taking your power away from you, that you're saying you have no power. You're saying that everybody and everything else has power except for you. And so I feel like it's turning that around and changing it and saying, I do have power. I do have the power to accept things or not accept things, or to change things, or to leave them the way that they are. Let's grab a Star Dragons. Ooh, look at this one. We have destruction, releasing your anger. I feel that sometimes, like when we get really caught up in our anger, that we just feel like there is no solution, and we're just mad at everything because we feel like things aren't going to work out, or there is no solution, or it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, that's okay, because we have to acknowledge our feelings, but also we have to realize, okay, how do I get that back under control? What is it that I need to do for myself to release this anger, to let this anger go, and to let this frustration go? What do you need to do for you? And take those steps to do it. Let's grab a Whispers of Healing. We have mental repetition, and I like this. This I think is probably my favorite one. One of my favorite ones in this deck is that mental repetition is, what is it that you're telling yourself? What is it that you're repeating in your mind? Is it telling yourself that you can't achieve your goals, or is it telling yourself you can achieve your goals? Is it telling yourself that you can't get out of a situation, or is it telling yourself, I can get out of a situation? There's always a solution. There's always a way to make things happen. There's always a way to try. And when you've exhausted everything, then at least if something doesn't work out, you can say, I gave it my all, I gave it my best, and you can feel confident in that, right? So if it's with a relationship and you're like, I've tried to, you know, communicate with this person, I've tried to write letters, I tried to have conversations, I've tried to switch the way I was doing things, I tried everything I could do with this person, but I'm just not getting back what it is that I need in this relationship, or I'm just not getting, you know, I'm just not feeling it back from that other person, or that person is just never happy, and this person just keeps asking for more, and I just keep feeling drained. And so you've tried everything that you could try, and then you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to try anymore because I have nothing left to give, and that I can't put up with that situation anymore. And that's okay. It's, you know, being able to walk away and say, I gave it my best, I gave it my all, I did everything I could do, and it's in that person's hands, and they're choosing not to do anything, so I'm taking the power back and I'm choosing to move on. Let's grab angel answers. We have a year from now. So I feel like just recognizing that there are changes that need to be made, that a year from now that things could be totally different. I feel like one more, we have look for a sign. So look for a sign. So there could be signs around you. There could be things that are aligning for you. There could be, even if it's something out of the ordinary, or like something out of the ordinary happens, or an opportunity comes up, or something, and it's just like, well, that could be a sign, you know, it could be a sign that it's time for change. It could be a sign that, you know, things need to be changed, or things need to be, sometimes you just never know what's going to happen. And I feel like if you acknowledge what's going on, and you acknowledge that change needs to happen, this is something that, you know, it could take a whole year for you to get through this, right? To bring in this change, or, you know, it could take an hour, it could take a week, a month, a year, but over time, it's changing the way that you're thinking, and it could be changing that mental repetition that you have within yourself about whether or not things are going to happen, and taking control of your life, because you are powerful, right? With the Magician there, that you are powerful. It's that individual empowerment that you have, and to take that back and say, I can be in control of this. We have the fates, and that could be signs that are happening. It could be synchronicities. It could be things that are lining up for you. It could be, could just be with this tarot reading that, maybe something clicks or something makes sense, or, you're understanding something a little better and you're saying, you know what, maybe it is time for me to really look at things from a different perspective and to make some changes. I've definitely had to make some changes lately. Not really the happiest about it, but you do what you have to do so that you don't keep yourself in a negative energy. And it's just kind of taking control of the situation and not feeling like the situation is taking control of you. Let's grab the fates. Is also like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, even though sometimes we feel like we're not where we're supposed to be, right? Like in our book, like this isn't where we're supposed to be. Definitely not for me. But for the universe, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, that everything worked the way it is so that you could be at this moment right now. And that like you're supposed to be exactly where you are and at this moment. And this is what, you need to be looking at and making those changes and empowering yourself. That's just my personal opinion. Again, take what resonates, leave what does not. We have rest and rejuvenation, so take that time to really think things through and process things. And like I said, when you feel that you're ready to make these changes, that you feel that, okay, you've thought everything through, you've done everything you can do, and now you're ready for those changes. And to not rush into anything, but also to take that time for yourself to rest. And as I've said many times before, that if you're tired and you're angry, right, because we have releasing your anger, if you're tired and you're angry and you're frustrated, that's not a good time to make big decisions in your life. That the best time to make decisions are when you feel rested and you've thought things through, that you're not just trying to do something to do it, but that you feel like, okay, I feel rested, I feel good, I'm in a good place mentally, and this is what I know I need to do. We have definitely setting up your own firm foundation with this Four of Pentacles, is having that firm foundation and that trust within yourself, that you're making the right decisions for yourself, especially with that Queen of Pentacles. I always feel like the Queen of Pentacles is like your best friend. She's like down to earth, tell you how it is, not gonna play any games with you, and sometimes has that voice of reason, or it has that grounding energy that is, okay, this is really what needs to be done. And I feel like it's setting that firm foundation for yourself and saying, okay, this is what I really need to be doing. All right, lots for you to think about, but at least if that bell goes off and it's thinking about, what is my mental repetition, what do I need, what do you need for yourself to feel powerful again and to get yourself moving again, right? And get yourself out of this stuck energy. What do you need for yourself? What do you need possibly from another person? What do you need from yourself? What is it that you need to do? Figuring those things out and then acting on them and making them happen. Because just sitting around and waiting, nothing's going to change, and repeating patterns, nothing's going to change. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.